Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Hope you all are doing well. Students, in today's lesson we are going to revise our exercise 8A. For that, first we need to understand the concept of percentage. Open your books at page number 185 for better understanding. Students, as we have highlighted these statements on your books in the class, these statements are: the word percent originated from the Latin phrase per centum, and per centum means per hundred, or out of every 100. So basically your percentage belongs to 100, and your percent always means out of every 100. Percent is the Latin phrase, and that means per 100 or out of every 100. This is the symbol we always use to represent our percent, right? Percent means out of every 100. So if we have 100%, that means 100% would be equal to 100 out of 100, and 100 out of 100 is always equal to 1, because in a fraction, if you have same numerator and denominator, then that fraction always equals to 1. And if it's x%, then obviously if it would be x over 100. If you have 10%, it would be equal to 10 over 100, right? If it's 10%, then it would be equal to 10 out of 100, right? This is the way that we represent our percent, right? Okay, now let's move to the exercise, and your exercise is on page number 192, and your question number 1 is: express each of the following percentages as a fraction. And to convert this percentage as a fraction, what we have to do first we will remove our percentage sign. So 28%, as I have told you, if you have 10%, that means 10 out of 100. If we have 28%, that means 28 out of 100, right? Now you have to convert this in the simplest form. For that, you need to find out the common factor. The common factor of both the numbers, and a factor is a number that can divide your both numbers, right? And students, keep it in your mind, if the last digit of a number is 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, these numbers are always divisible by 2. All these numbers are divisible by 2. As you can see, the last digit of 28 is 8, and it's 0. 0 and 8. That means these two numbers are divisible by 2, right? So we can do it like this. Divide both by 2. 28 divided by 2, it would be equal to 14, and 100 divided by 2, it would be equal to 50. If you can do the division directly, well and good. If you can't do it, you can make a column on the right hand side of your page, and you can do the division yourself, right? Now 14 and 50, are they two divisible again by any common factor? Yes, they are again divisible by 2. Why? Because the last digits are 0 and 4. So these two are again divisible by 2, right? Now 14 divided by 2. Yes, 2 sevens are 14, and 50 divided by 2, it's equal to 25. This is your answer. Students, you can see I have divided 28% or 28 over 100 two times. One time with 2 and again with 2. So this means 28 over 100 is also divisible by 4. If you can judge that, you can directly divide 28 and 100 by 4, right? Okay. Now let's move to the next question. Our second question is express each of the following percentages as a decimal. What's the difference between these two questions? In this you have to convert your percentage in a fraction, and in this question you have to convert your percentage into a decimal, right? Same, 4% means 4 out of 100, right? 4% means 4 out of 100, and you can divide 4 by 100 in the vertical form, but I'll tell you a trick. Your division by 10, 100 and 1000 is very simple. Count the zeros in the denominator. How many zeros we have? 2 zeros. That means we need 2 decimal places in the answer, right? But we have only one digit 4. How we can complete 2 digits? Yes, we can write a 0 with 4. Now we have 2 digits, right? You will count your 2 digits from your right hand side. 1 and 2 digits, place the decimal point, and what's the procedure to represent a decimal number? We always use a 0 at the start if you have no whole number, right? So what I have done, count the zeros in the denominator. Then if you have 2 zeros, you need to count 2 digits from your right hand side, write the decimal point, and to represent your decimal number, write the 0 at the start. This 0 has no value, this is just to represent your decimal number, right? If you will have 1 0 in the denominator, you will place your decimal point after 1 digit. If you will have 3 zeros in the denominator, you will place decimal point after 3 digits. And if you have less number of digits, you can complete your digits by writing a 0, right? Understood? Okay, good. Now let's move to the third question. Your third question is express each of the following fractions as a percentage. Express each of the following fractions as a percentage. Now the opposite procedure of our question number 1. What we were doing in question number 1, we were converting our percentage to fraction. Now we need to convert fraction to percentage, right? How we will do that? Let's see. Our first part is 3 over 5. Students, we have 2 ways to solve this sum. We can make our denominator 100 by multiplying and with 20, or you can directly multiply your fraction with 100% to convert your fraction into a percentage. Why we always multiply with the 100%? Because 100% always means 100 out of 100, right? 100 out of 100. You can see we have same numerator and same denominator. And in a fraction, when you have same numerator and denominator, your answer is always equal to 1. So when you will multiply a fraction with 1, it will never change your question, right? And don't forget to write your percentage symbol if you need to write your answer in percentage, right? Okay. Now we call denominator a divisor. We always call denominator a divisor, right? That means this denominator number 5 can divide 3 and 100, right? 3 is not divisible by 5, right? Obviously, if you will divide it, you will get a decimal number. But 100 is divisible by 5. You can divide in the vertical form, or you can do the cancellation directly. 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10, and 5 zeros are 0, right? So 100 divided by 5, it's equal to 20. And we are left with, write the remaining numbers first, 3 over 1 multiply by 20%. 23s are, yes, it's 60, and 60 over 1 is always equal to 60 degrees, right? 60 over 1 is always equal to, sorry, not degrees, percentage, right? So this is the way how we can convert a fraction into a percentage. What you have to do, just you need to multiply with 100%. Just you need to multiply your fraction with 100%. Hope you have understood the procedure of your question number 1, 2 and 3. In the next video, inshallah, we will discuss the procedure of question number 4, 5, 6 and 7. Your today's assignment is you need to solve the remaining parts of your question number 1, 2 and 3. And we have already done this exercise in your notebook. You can take the help from your notebook in case of any problem. Please don't copy. Try to solve yourself. If you face any difficulty, then you can consult with your notebook. It's your revision, so be serious. Don't copy from your notebook. Solve your assignment yourself. If you face any difficulty, consult with your notebook, or in case if you have any difficulty after consulting with your notebook, you can contact me. Thank you. Take care. Allah Hafiz.